Damsel original film that came out at the beginning of March, but due to my busy schedule, I missed it when it came up. I'm finally getting a chance to watch the film to this previous day. This film stars Millie Bobby Brown, who also executive produced the film. She stars as Elodie, someone who's about to become the princess of this new kingdom after her father, played by Ray Winstone, trades for money because due to her struggling kingdom, her father needs money, and the kingdom that she's going to marry basically is led by Robin Wright, who plays Queen Isabel, who needs a bride for her son, Prince Henry, played by Nick Robinson. But instead of really getting actually married and falling in love with someone, she gets sacrificed into a situation where she goes one-on-one with a dragon who is voiced by, hopefully I'm saying her name right, Sheree Agadashlo. Hopefully I'm saying her right. She's really good in the movie as the voice. Also in the movie is Angela Bassett as Elodie's stepmother, and Floria, who's played by Brooke Carter, who's Elodie's sister. The film is 1 hour and 50 minutes and is PG-13. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new movie review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I talk all things movies, TV, box office. I also do out of theater reactions and rankings every single month. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. I'm obviously a couple weeks late to Damsel, but if you saw Damsel, did you like it? Did you not like it? What do you think Millie Bobby Brown should be doing moving forward in her career once Stranger Things wraps up next year? Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't seen it, tell me why did you not see it, and will you check it out anytime soon? I respond to all the comments. Let's keep it polite, and I love having that fun conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Also, please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. So as I said, I was a couple weeks late. If you've been following the channel, I kind of took a week off from YouTube due to my work schedule. And then I got even more busy the next week when I came back. So I've been doing videos the last 2 weeks, but I'm back now in the groove of things, and I'm rewatching things and doing reviews for you guys for movies that came out earlier in the month that I missed, which includes Damsel. So let's get into my thoughts. I did not see a trailer for this movie. Only saw the poster. Obviously knew Millie Bobby Brown. Obviously it's been a couple weeks. So I didn't hear really good things didn't really hear anything good for this movie. So those are my expectations coming in. And let's get into Damsel. And what I'm going to say about it, I'm going to probably come off as harsher than actually most critics have been. This movie has shockingly not been crucified as much as I thought, because I thought I heard some bad things. I went through some of the reviews of fellow critics and YouTubers, and while people don't seem to be like saying it's a good movie, people have been kind of nice to it, is what I'll say. I will not be. Now, this movie was not for me, and this did not work for me for a multitude of reasons. Now, before I even get to that, I do want to say, Millie Bobby Brown, I'm a big fan. If you're new to the channel, Stranger Things, one of my top 2 favorite shows of all time. I am addicted to Stranger Things. I think Millie Bobby Brown's a really terrific actress. I don't think she really got to showcase that in her MonsterVerse films and Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. But I did think she got to showcase her acting chops in the 2 Enola Holmes films that she did for Netflix, which both films I really enjoyed. And I really like this partnership with Millie Bobby Brown and Netflix so far. Now, the difference is she actually was as a producer for Enola Holmes and Enola Holmes 2. This time she's an executive producer, so she's a lot less hands-on than she was in the Enola Holmes films. I don't know why she's taking a bit more of a backseat. She still obviously has some say, but not as much say as she did in her other 2 Netflix films. But she's terrific in this movie and is kind of the shining star in this, in my opinion, just a bad movie. She is excellent, and she has a really tough job in this movie, which is for the first 30 or so minutes, she's acting with again, sets, but a lot of human people is always with her. And then there's a huge point in the movie where it is just her for the next, for that second act of the movie, it is her in a cave screaming or yelling or trying to escape a dragon. And that is a tough performance, which at times, again, she's doing the best she can. I don't think the material is that good for her. This movie is written by Dan Mazzo. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. He's coming off of writing Fast X and Wrath of the Titans as his other 2 screenplays that he's done. So not a great screenwriter, no offense to him, but just not a great, those movies are not known for their scripts. And this is a pretty bad script as well. And I think it's sometimes that second act Millie Bobby Brown has to do a lot with a lot of nothing. And I do think that she makes the movie as watchable as it can be in moments. She's excellent in the movie. She has that movie star charisma to her. And she deserves to be a leading actress moving forward in Hollywood. But I do think if it's movies or TVs, she's got to find some better project because at times in this movie, it just feels like they made this movie to stay in the Millie Bobby Brown business before Stranger Things wraps up. That's just how I felt watching the movie. The other good positive I would say is kind of the design and the voice of the dragon. This movie has like a $60-70 million budget, and you can tell most of it went to the actual dragon and the design because the dragon at times is probably the second main character of the movie, who, as I said, is voiced by Ashkadashlu. Hopefully, I'm saying her name right. The voice work is excellent for that dragon, and the actual design of the dragon is very cool. And you don't feel like you're watching anything cheap when we're just in the cave with Elodie and the dragon. I'll tell you where, but other than that, there's not a lot to like here in this movie. The biggest problem for me in this movie is nothing makes any sense from a logic level. Millie Bobby Brown, Elodie, the character of Elodie, survives so much in this movie that no one could survive. She falls from a huge heights when she gets, quote unquote, sacrificed. And it's a fall that no one should survive, but you're kind of just like, okay, so she falls on her head and she kind of just has a blood mark on her head. So cool. I guess she could survive that. I don't want to really get into spoilers, what happens in the third act of the movie, but there are character decisions that don't make any sense towards the third act. The movie wanted a cool, flashy ending instead of a ending with any logic to it. As I said, characters survive things that they obviously should not survive. The movie also becomes just stupid, in my opinion, in the second act, where, Elodie is supposed to be this smart character and she's hiding from this dragon who's trying to kill her. And the whole time she's trying to hide, she's screaming, she's yelling, and this is all trying to survive a dragon. The dragon feels so stupid in the second act. There's so many points where the dragon could have just killed her, but because we need this to be a feature-length movie, we need the dragon to be kind of stupid and only show up at certain points. I was so frustrated that the dragon had so many chances to just easily kill Elodie, and she just chooses not to because this is a movie and this is not, none of these characters are acting like actual human beings at points in the film. Angela Bassett is one of the best actors right now working in Hollywood. She is so underutilized and misused in this movie. She plays the stepmother to Elodie and Floria, and Bassett's trying in this movie, and I really appreciate that she always gives 1,000% to every performance, but this is, in my opinion, a total waste of her time. I have no idea why she's in this movie. It's a character that, with the right script, they set up a dynamic that Elodie and Lady Bayford, who's played by Bassett, her stepmother, don't have this kind of close-knit relationship because Elodie still misses her actual mother who passed away. But they set up that, and I think that's a good arc for Angela Bassett's character, and they do nothing with it. And I think, I don't know if she signed up and that was a plot point that did well, but when they got to shooting, they just didn't go through with it or got cut. But that's a storyline that felt so underutilized and a waste of time half the time in this movie. So is Ray Winstone and Robin Wright. It just feels like a lot of these other actors, and it's no offense to anyone. Obviously, we all need to cash those paychecks. And Ray Winstone and Robin Wright, and at times Baz, I feel like that's exactly what they're doing in this movie. They're doing a passable job, but they're not really any special performances in here. And while, yes, the dragon looks very good, they felt like all of the budget on the look of the dragon, because the rest of the movie, the out shots when they're standing at the castle looking upon the world, it looks so cheap. Millie Bobby Brown's wig, and I usually am not the person to say this, so if I'm saying it, then it's probably not a good thing. The wig that she is wearing is pretty bad for the whole movie. I never believed that this was actually her real hair in the movie. And I am normally not someone who calls out makeup and hairstyling. It's not my forte whatsoever, but it's just blatantly a bad wig that pulls me out of reality kind of right away in this movie. So overall, for me, this is a bad watch. There's a lot of logic issues of how characters survive certain things. The movie can look cheap at times. There's a waste of the majority of the very good, solid ensemble that is in this movie. And again, this movie is saying it's called Damsel, trying to be, a very much a girl power type movie, which I'm all for, by the way, as a guy. I like watching those type of movies, like Barbie, for example, that can be that in that genre, I guess. But this movie tries to be like, well, the most original this movie gets is, well, you've heard of the damsel in distress, and this story will not be that. And a lot of movies in the last 15, 20 years have kind of been trying to subvert that damsel in distress character in a lot of big movies. And this movie is trying to do that, but it just feels very forced, and the messaging feels very forced. Nothing feels natural. And while Millie Bobby Brown is doing the best, and the dragon and the voice look cool, this was a misfire for me on Netflix. I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5, 30% for Damsel. Let me know your thoughts on the movie in the comment section down below. Like the video, and I'll see you guys.